Hey, it's Jonathan here. I wanted to give you a couple thoughts. I made a couple of videos, and for some reason they're just not coming out. I guess I need to talk slower, maybe be calmer. Maybe I get too passionate about something, yelling at something, being all mean. Well, today's going to be a mean video. I'm going to kind of talk about the educational system, and I'm going to use the E word, and it's the word that we don't like. And let me kind of tell you a little bit about what's kind of facilitated this. Is here I am on the UCLA campus. I just finished teaching a kind of a 2-week college readiness program, and what that really means is college readiness is just really to help people that are kind of declare majors and kind of help navigate the college experience. And really what I taught, if you were to really break it down, was really life readiness. The things that I learned and I taught people in the college readiness program, I could teach any place, and it would be applicable to any person. For example, we talked about things that are very practical to college, but we also talked about things like, for example, simple things like learning the difference between critical feedback and criticism. Some people don't know the difference. They think criticism means you just have to high five my bullshit and everything about me is awesome. We all have those friends that, if we even said one thing about them that would be critical feedback, they would be offended and probably defriend us, because we as a nation, we just want to be affirmed. We want people to high five us. We want people to, I guess, co-sign our bullshit. So for example, let me talk about evolution in the educational system. Having the opportunity to speak and teach at UCLA, it's a privilege. The UCLA accepts 18% of people, so you can have an idea of the number of applicants versus the number of people who are actually admitted here. So UCLA is a really, really, really good place. And so for me to have the opportunity to come speak and to come teach, it's nothing short of a privilege and a golden opportunity. And so most of what I said to those students, again, they're already at that cream de la cream level. And so here I am trying to talk about life readiness and college readiness to people. And some people you connected with, some people you don't. And you got to keep in mind that there's always going to be some people that just don't like you for who you are. But there were times that I felt like I was actually making a difference. And but one of the things that I got a lot out of that program, and I probably learned more than I taught. And I think there's a quote that says that the teacher learns more than he teaches, and that's definitely true. And one thing that I learned one thing I observed is how, as a country, we are kind of fucked. We are losing. And this is not an anti-immigration, this is not a pro-Trump thing, but where I'm trying to do is trying to have an honest conversation about how our country as a whole is losing educationally. We've gotten off the gold standard, so our currency is shit. So many areas that we're losing in this country: education, the gold standard, our currency, on so many different levels. We are losing and other countries are winning. And what happens when we lose in our own backyards? What happens? Well, there's a winner. Just like if you think about like a tennis match, for example, if the Americans lose and the other country wins, they win. And so part of being an American, a person who loves this country, is to speak and say, guys, man, we have a lot of work to do on our educational system, on our medical system, on our currency. You show me one area that's significant to the next generation, and I got to say, we're fucked. What are we doing for that? For example, everybody likes the economy. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, Jew, Gentile, everybody is affected by our currency. Who's talking about going back to the gold standard? Who's talking about what's happening to our currency? Nobody. What are we talking about in America? We're talking about Pokemon. We're talking about which bathroom they're going to use at Target, or the Kardashians. The only real conversation that I think is really important right now that we're having as a nation on a whole is for finally, we as a country are really starting to acknowledge police brutality specifically, or police corruption, I guess I can say it, police brutality and corruption specifically as it relates to minorities. That's the only conversation that we are collectively as a nation having that I think is important. Everything else is just shit. Nobody's talking about the gold standard. Nobody's talking about a necrotic educational system, and certainly nobody's talking about like real social issues. Not even the church, So when you start looking at homelessness and some of those issues that are really important. So let's go back to the E word, evolution. I've had the opportunity to come speak to UCLA and to kind of really just just be here. And one thing that I'm learning is, dude, we're losing and they're winning. The other countries they're educating their people better, they're protecting the currency better, and as Americans, man, we got a lot of work to do, and I'm not sure that we're going to make it out of it. I mean, I'm not sure that the America that we know is going to exist in 20 years. In fact, if you want to really, really get serious about this, Google the Alex Tytler cycle. Alex Tytler. In fact, if I were to come talk to the president, or if I were to talk to anybody in power, I would say Google the Alex Tytler cycle and watch how democracies typically only last 200 years and how they're supplanted with something else. And I would say there we are. That's where we're going. And I know this is not full of unicorns and bells and whistles, and there's not all positive. But one of the things that I taught in my college readiness class is there's a difference between criticism and critical feedback. And I love this country, and I love our troops, and I love education, obviously. And I'm like, dude, somebody has to have an honest conversation about how we are not evolving educationally. And in fact, I will say this: Google the Alex Tytler cycle and tell me your thoughts. Another thing I would say is Google where America is leading other nations, and just make a list of, say, the top 5 or 8 things that America leads the world in. Like we lead in incarcerating our own people. We lead in, I think, to bring a new drug to market cost, what, $1 billion? I mean, do you think it cost $1 billion to bring a drug to market in China? No. So make a list. If I were to talk to the president, I would say Google the Alex Tytler cycle. Or if I were to talk to the president nominee, I would say Google the Alex Tytler cycle. And then I would say Google the top 5 or 8 ways that America leads. And then I would say, yeah, pretty depressing, isn't it? And then I would say, that's your fucking job. That's your job. It's time to step up, and it's time to evolve. It's time to evolve. And it's time to stop having these bullshit conversations about Pokemon, about which bathroom we're going to use at Target, and the Kardashians. And it's time to really go, dude, if we want a fucking country, we're going to have to evolve. And evolve means change. And change takes courage. And courage takes leadership. And unfortunately, I think that's where we're lacking. All right. Sorry for being so mean. Don't have any bells and whistles and unicorns today. But I want to be honest, because I believe in honest conversations. And I love this country. And it's sad to come to these elite schools and go, man, what I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing Americans. I'm not seeing too many people from Oklahoma and Kansas and the people that I love. Anyway, Americano, you can email me. Americano417@gmail.com. Maybe tomorrow I'll have a more optimistic and positive thing, or maybe I'll run into somebody, or maybe I'll promote a small business somewhere. I'm a big proponent of small businesses. In fact, I thought about kind of even doing, promoting the small business, because, keep in mind, small businesses provide 70% of America's jobs. So, maybe I'll use this channel to just promote small businesses, or maybe I'll interview interesting people. And if you're in the LA area and you're interesting, or you have a business that you would like to promote, I would love to help you do that. Kind of use the power of the internet, my voice, to bring good, to have a good impact. Jackie Robinson, 42, says, the only real impact that we have, the only real value a human being has, is the impact it has on other people's lives. And I want to use this YouTube channel, however big or small it is, to bring good, to bring good. Email me, Americano417@gmail.com. Love to interview you, love to promote your small business, or maybe you just want a couple of opinions. Email me, Americano417@gmail.com. I'm Jonathan. You guys have a great day.